You post a video, you wait, you refresh again. 1 hour later, you refresh it again. Still nothing. 12 views, 1 like, your mom commented. You try to brush it off and tell yourself it's just for fun. But deep down, you're wondering, am I just not good enough at this? That hideous voice creeps in your mind saying, this is stupid, just quit. You're wasting your time on this YouTube thing. I know that voice because for years I was that creator. 12-hour edits, trying to be perfect, 40 views was a good video. No momentum, no clarity, just guessing. What made it worse wasn't the low views, it was the internal war that those views triggered in my mind. The shame and the doubt, the constant wondering, why is this working for everyone but me? So I quit, kind of. I stopped creating for myself, but the fire to create and to understand the platform of YouTube didn't go away from me. And that's when I became a full-time YouTube editor. That was my path forward, to be a creator without having to go through the failure of being a creator for myself. And then naturally, I evolved into a YouTube strategist. I worked with some of the biggest creators out there, household names that you'd likely recognize, but I didn't just edit. When I was an editor, I studied. I treated their analytics like a case study. I didn't care about hacks. I cared about why people clicked, why they stayed, what made a thumbnail feel like it had gravity, what made a video feel inevitable to finish. And it wasn't trends, it wasn't flashy effects, it was psychology. Creators who grew consistently, they weren't chasing gimmicks, they were mastering human behavior. And when I understood that changed everything for me. Because when I finally decided to try YouTube for myself again, with everything I'd learned, well, this time it actually worked. In less than 28 days, I got over 100,000 views, nearly 5,000 new subscribers. I got monetized. But more importantly, people started hiring me as a YouTube strategist, not as an editor. My clients' channels then began to explode. And the most rewarding part was people kept asking me, Dylan, how do you actually grow on YouTube? And that question and all of the pain and the journey that led to it is why I made this video. So if you're someone who's tired of guessing, if you're tired of watching everyone else grow while you feel invisible, this is for you. Because I'm gonna show you how to go from 0 to 1,000 subscribers fast, not by chasing shorts or virality, but by building a real engine, a real system that brings in views and subscribers and turns those subscribers and views into tangible income. And yes, this is pulled directly from what I teach inside my community called the YouTube Accelerator, which you can learn more about by clicking the first link in the description below. But if you're ready to jump into this, then grab a drink, open up a Notion document, get ready to take notes, and let's dive into it. So I think the most fitting way to start this free course, if you will, I guess you can say, is firstly understanding the invisible trap that keeps most creators stuck. I want to show you something that will really help you, I think. It'll help you understand this super easily. But first, I want you to understand that most creators are stuck because they're asking the wrong questions. They ask, how do I get monetized? Or how do I go viral? But if you're starting from zero, those questions will just bury you. Because when you start with no audience, you don't need to waste brain power on getting monetized by the Google AdSense program. You need a timeline, a system to follow, a map that adapts to you, not the algorithm. So here's the system that I use with my private clients. And it was the same system that I followed when I came back to YouTube to create for myself. The first phase is the foundation phase. See, your job in this phase isn't to go viral, it's to build belief and trust with your audience. It's to build a targeted audience. You need to make videos that answer subconscious questions, that hit on all your viewers' pain points and curiosities. You want to make them feel relatable to you or to them. You want to make content that feels relatable to them and triggers their curiosities and emotions, not some surface level tutorials, but instead create videos that make people go, wait, that's exactly how I feel. See, this is called proof of perspective content. And it's what makes people subscribe, not because of what you teach, but because of how you think. You don't need fancy edits here. You need empathy. You need storytelling. You need honesty. You need solutions. And this is the content that builds an emotional bridge between you and your viewer. Remember, this is where we focus on building trust before traffic. And this also happens to be the phase that we build an audience that pays us. Now, the second phase is conversion, content with a back-end plan, because this is where most creators fail flat out. They get some views, maybe even a few subs, but there's no back-end, no free resource, no newsletter, no product, no call to action. So all of their momentum turns into nothing. You need to make videos that introduce curiosity about what you offer, even if it's free. For example, if we take my niche, YouTube growth, we could do a video called, "This is how I'd grow on YouTube fast if I had to start over again from scratch." Well, if I did a video like that, this call to action would be something in line with the reason people are watching. So maybe something like, download the YouTube growth timeline Notion document that I use with all my clients down below. And I could use that free lead magnet to lead them into my sales funnel where I have my high ticket backend offer, which is still in line with that video title because my backend offer is helping people grow on YouTube. See, that call to action will pull people off the platform into your world, your ecosystem. You're not selling, you're directing. And that leads us to the third phase, which is scaling. See, once your system's in place, now you go wide. This is when you remix trending ideas, inject your psychology-backed frameworks, and start inventing outliers. This should make up 20% of your content on YouTube. And I like to follow the Pareto principle, which is more commonly known as the 80-20 rule. And when it comes to YouTube, in my opinion, however, this varies on a case-to-case basis, I'm speaking generally here, I like to have 80% of my content be based on outlier research and 20% focused on trying to create my own outliers. But you shouldn't start here. You need to earn your way here by mastering trust and conversions first. However, you might be wondering what an outlier even is. Well, an outlier video is a video on your channel or anyone's channel that performs exponentially better than any other video that they've ever posted on their channel, making that video that did well an outlier. And to find outliers for your own channel, it's a very, very simple process. All you need to do is search any niche that comes to mind in the YouTube search bar and start trying to find high viewed videos on channels that have low subscribers, as those videos will likely be outliers. Then you want to analyze what their titles, their videos, their thumbnails were. Take those as your inspiration or your concept for how you structure your own video now. For example, imagine we had a YouTube channel about video editing. Right? I may go to the search bar and search coding and then find a video with a lot of views in comparison to their subscriber count, seeing that this is in fact an outlier. Then take that outlier and let's say it's titled something along the lines of how I would learn to code again if I had to start over, right? Well, I can reverse engineer this concept and make it applicable for my niche in video editing as an example by creating a video called how I'd learn video editing if I had to start over again in 2025. It's the same concept, just slight tweaks. There's a saying, don't fix what's not broken. And that's the principle of outliers. And by the way, I go in way more depth on how to actually find outliers step by step, free plugins and tools that you can use to find guaranteed outliers 10 times faster, and so much more, all inside my YouTube Accelerator program. But before you click off this video to either go do this yourself or watch another YouTube video, I want you to try to understand something that may challenge your current goals. And it's why 1,000 subscribers is the wrong goal to have and what to actually aim for instead. See, if I told you that I know creators making $5,000 plus a month with less than 300 subscribers, would you believe me? Because it's true, and I've seen it. In fact, my channel has less than 3,000 subscribers at the time of recording this, and I make over $10,000 a month in back-end profit from my channel. See, the goal isn't 1,000 subscribers, it's 1,000 believers in you or less. The goal is to get super targeted on the exact person we want to speak to with our content. Believers in what we teach and what we do and what we offer, and it can be way less than 1,000 people. If you structure your content around belief shifting, behavior triggering ideas, 100 views can be more powerful than 100,000 if positioned right. It's not about how many views, it's about the quality of each view. And this is why I teach creators to think like entrepreneurs and not influencers, because YouTube is your engine for leads. It's not your business. Your business is the transformation that you offer through coaching, services, products, or heck, even storytelling. And this mindset alone is the difference between years of spinning your wheels with a lot of subscribers but no income, or having little subscribers and making a ton of money, or building a business off of your passion, even with a small audience. And this naturally leads people to ask then, how can I design videos that people can't stop watching, right? Well, here's what most creators do. They typically pick a topic, first thing comes to their head, they hit record, they think of the packaging as an afterthought, and then they hope it works, but it doesn't, obviously not. Well, here's what I teach. Instead, start with the viewer, your ideal target audience. Start with their subconscious pain. Ask, what are they silently asking themselves in their head, right? Then open a loop. Create tension. Say something that makes them need to stick around. Not just click, but stay. Deliver the value through story, not steps. If I just tell you add curiosity, it's boring. But if I show you how I once edited a video to go from 12% retention to 58% just by changing the first 30 seconds, well, now you're way more locked in what I have to say. See, this is scripting through emotional sequencing, not informational dumping. It's what makes your video binge-worthy, not just background noise. And by the way, if this is hitting home for you and you want help actually scripting videos like this, I go way deeper inside my program, YouTube Accelerator, which you can check out in the first link below. In fact, when it comes to scripting inside of the program, I even have a YouTuber with over 300,000 subscribers who specializes in writing, teaching one of his lessons in there for you guys. And on that topic, let me show you something crazy. One of my students posted a video following just one of these principles that I spoke about in this video. And they said that the value they got in the program was far exceeding the value that they got from 5-figure coaching programs. Oh, and that was only a week into the program. They hadn't even finished the whole thing. And that's why I built YouTube Accelerator, to help creators stop guessing and to start building with systems, with feedback, and with support, and giving a stupid amount of value stacked on value. Inside, we have weekly viral idea drops. We have weekly live group coaching calls. We have script reviews, all my systems on how I come up with ideas, how I script for retention, how I track data, everything you could think of. So if you're serious about YouTube, if you're done winging it, now's the time to dive in. So if that sounds like you, then click the link below to join, and I'll see you inside. Let's build your channel together.